Hello, we have to go. I've got a new plot of land and some work to do. Flash forward a couple of weeks. It's now April 30th. Now, as the sole supplier of goods to the town, I'm going to plant more crops before the end of the night. Maybe get a greenhouse, and possibly some kind of fruit going. With the apple trees dying, I don't know if we will be able to in that area. Soil samples show they will hold by the sunflowers, or in front of the restaurant. We will check that out after I plow these new fields. Come join us, as I start supplying the town. Chapter 1. It's extremely late in the day. Most people would be in their homes having dinner. But as I said in the beginning, I can't stop. Especially now since the town has grown. We have new people showing up every day. Most are just passing through. But the few that choose to stay are amazing individuals. We have someone relocating here from Ireland with his wife, Maeve and Cormac. They want the peace and quiet like most of the others who are here. I decided to plant sorghum in one of the new fields. Worst case scenario, I can make flour out of it. For now, I'm going to pay off some of the equipment and get some other things going. After I get some rest, of course. It seems we have a small problem. Part of the soybean field didn't take. Maybe it has something to do with why the apple trees ended up diseased and dead. I'll take some samples and we'll figure it out. For now, I need fertilizer to increase the yields. Lucky for me, the land is rich in lime, so it's not necessary. So I made my way to the shop to see about a fertilizer spreader. The rig was still there, so I inquired about it with Silas.
Good morning, Tilly. What can I do for you?
That rig in the garage has been there for a couple of weeks. Has Bill fallen behind?
That rig is mine. It was out of service. It's old, but available. And so am I. Are you for dinner tomorrow night? I'll let you think about it. What else can I help you with?
Moving on. I bought a spreader for $25,000 and 3,000 liters of solid fertilizer for $5,760. Loaded it up and got to work. Of all the people in town, I would have never thought Silas would have asked me that. But I can't think about that. I have a town to grow. I then purchased 2 chicken houses and filled them with 7 hens and 1 rooster each. After thinking on it for a while, I decided to take Silas up on his offer. Wheat and canola harvest is 2 months away, and I've done all I can for now. I just hope he knows what he's getting into. The poor fellow is in for it. Chapter 2. My bank balance loves adopting that negative sign when I take time off. One of the warehouses in town needs some soybeans, so I'm off to provide my wares. $21,143 for the first run, which already saved my hide, on top of $21,077 for the second run. Had me sitting in a nice spot to start harvest. I sold the oyster mushrooms to the restaurant where Silas and I went, which went quite well. Thanks for asking. I loaded the enoki mushrooms and sold them to the farmer's market, netting me almost an additional $5,000. After I sold everything else that had accumulated, I finally got to harvesting the oats. Lucky for me, Anon and Gertrude came to see if I needed help. Anon mentioned a baler he left on the hill. Perfect for me to follow behind the harvester and make bales for the sheep. I had to stop and grab Horton to move the grain to the silo partway through. Once the oat was done, Gertrude moved on to the wheat as I finished baling the straw. When all was said and done, I had 148 bales of straw. Plenty to last them a while. The yield on the wheat was insane. I had to empty the harvester multiple times so that Gertrude didn't have to stop. Horton is a strong boy, but he was getting tired and moving slower, so I had Scud take over hauling. I began collecting straw bales and putting them in the sheep barn. As far as the oats go, I put most of them in my grain mill to produce flour. The last went into the cereal plant. I made a mistake when I planted wheat. Summer wheat is what is used for flour, not winter. So I had to find the best buyer to sell to. I decided to keep it small, since Amanda owns this herself and runs it pretty much on her own. She makes the bulk of her money from travelers. As I said, a lot of people come and go here, around 200 a day. Will you join our little town? It only takes a second, and I promise to keep providing the good stuff. Chapter 3. I decided to make short work of the rest of the grains by getting a trailer for the rig Silas loaned me. He said I could buy it from him in payments just like financing, except if I'm late, he won't repo it. I sold the rest of the wheat to Amanda and gave the rest of the oats to the cereal factory. I'm not charging them until they produce something. With the lack of sugar and honey right now, they won't for quite some time. I parked the rig and checked the animals. Chickens and sheep were good, but something was wrong with the piggies. I had to run to the shop and get a slurry tank to save the poor things. The newborns were getting sick from the filth. I almost lost 3, but I was able to save the 3rd. I finished my work for the month, and with any luck I won't be in the negative after finances. I'll see you then. It looks like I got lucky this month. I have to harvest this canola, and I'm thinking about expanding this field once these potatoes are done. It's now 6 a.m., and Maeve has joined my efforts in the field. Now I can figure out what I'm doing with these potatoes. I need a harvester, but I have to lease it. It's too expensive to outright buy, and I'm not entirely sure I'm keeping them around. So why waste the money? I got to work on the field, and help arrived like magic. It's like they smelled the fumes from the petrol. That's all right. I can still keep things moving while they work. No time to rest just because I'm not in a field. I began processing the canola into oil for a higher profit. The harvester I rented was stuck on one of the trees by the field. When one tree wasn't enough, I went back in for the second, and was nearly run down. I fired the driver rather quickly, and someone else took over. I took the first round of potatoes and ran them straight to the piggies. They love their soybeans and potatoes, so I give them first servings every time. After all, we all know what happens to them. May as well spoil them while I can. For now, I'm going to grab some breakfast. I've got another date with Silas at the Gast House. That's the name Amanda came up with for her place. Final chapter. I wonder when she's going to fix that hump. Hopefully before someone pops a hydraulic line or worse. I sold a small amount of potatoes at the Gast House for a little over 3 grand. As I got back to the gate, I noticed the harvester had not moved since I left. Kai had the thing stuck to a tree, so I removed it. Once he got going again, I headed off to the shop for a trailer that could transport these vegetables. The rest of the harvest was made up of money rolling in, a little too much running, and a lot of vegetables, followed by a few hours of running straw to the farmer's market. For profit, of course, no matter how much. And I can't wait to get in this massive field and see what kind of profit we have. Green beans and potatoes seem to be doing rather well, but I simply do not have the patience for the potatoes. Gast House is doing exceptionally well. I can tell mostly because I've been here every day for the last week. Thank you, Amanda. Business is moving because of you. I've done my share of work today, and I have more to do still. I'll be combining the 3 small fields in the back soon, around the time the sunflowers are ready for harvest. I'm returning the harvester and turning in. Until next time, good night.